This, no? This. Friends, a very hearty good afternoon to one and all. At the outset, I welcome Dr. Sakuntala Jena, ma'am, the resource person for today's session. Friends, let me tell you, we have been organizing, observing Swachhta Pakhwada, even all across country. This event is being observed. So, Dhenkanal Science Centre has organized this event since 16th September, and it will culminate on 30th September 2021. For this, to make people aware, especially students, we have organized several competitions to make our students aware about the significance of Swachhta, cleanliness. Poster designing contest, even today also quiz was there, and now the webinar is on theme e-waste management, electronic waste management. So the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change rolled out the e-waste management rules in 2016 to reduce e-waste production and increase recycling. E-waste is a rich source of metals such as gold, silver, copper, and as you all know, I won't come to the details. Ma'am is there; she'll interact with all of us. And recently, last month, that Tokyo Olympic 2020, almost 5,000 medals were prepared only by recycling the electronic waste. Electronic waste, the gadgets like mobile phones, tab, computer are very rich in these metals. So it was recycled and the medals were prepared. So for this, today's webinar is on theme e-waste management. So we have with us Madam Sakuntala Jena. Madam is in a teaching profession since 1993. She did her graduation in Ravensa College in the year 89, I think. 89 means that time Ravensa College was the topmost college in Odisha. Not only in Odisha, all across India. Madam did her graduation from Ravensa College, then did her post-graduation and MPhil in Utkal University. Later on in the PhD from Barampur University. So almost Odisha, all the renowned, reputed universities were covered. And this is a teaching profession in since 1993. So Madam's specialization is chemistry. So Madam is with us at the outset. Madam, welcome. I welcome you, and on behalf of all these participants. And this event is live streamed in our social media pages also. So people all across globe can see. And I request all my esteemed viewers, please mute your mics and even hide your video. And please jot down the points. If you have any, we'll discuss at the end. So once again, welcome you all on behalf of Dhenkanal Science Centre, a unit of National Council of Science Museums, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Welcome you all. From Bardhaman, Subir Kumar Bandopadhyay ji is also there. Even some others, because we have already posted it in our social media pages. Now, I don't want to stand in between you and ma'am. May I request Sakuntala ma'am, please take over. The platform is yours now. Sakuntala ma'am, please. Sakuntala ma'am, please unmute your audio. ଆପଣଙ୍କ ହଁ ମାଇକ୍
Thank you, sir. I think I am audible now.
yeah, you are audible.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to speak few lines on this good occasion. And also, I would like to thank the Dhenkanal Science Centre for organizing this webinar on this burning topic. I am proud enough and privileged to speak few words on today's environmental danger which needs our attention, the e-waste management. Actually, I would like to tell you that this e-waste, first let us please, the participant students just first think about the mother nature which we are rewarded with. This mother nature, it is so beautiful. I have kept a beautiful picture for you. It provides the food, shelter, all the basic amenities for the loving creatures it has. So we are blessed enough it, and we should first realize that we are enjoying all this. But due to development of science and technology, every moment we are misusing the environment by adding the unwanted materials into it. This process just disturbs the ecosystem, and this process of disturbing the ecosystem is known as environmental pollution. So, as this pollution causes imbalance of the nature, and hence it also ultimately threatens to the life of all forms of life, the life of the animals, the life of the plants. So, being the literate youth, it is our first and foremost duty to protect our environment and also to protect our mother earth. So we have to aware and understand the hazardous outcomes which are coming out from our day-to-day activities, and hence we can find out, we can think, we can storm our mind to find out the ways to solve this problem. So on this context, our today's discussion e-waste management. Okay, so students, let us first understand what is e-waste. As introduced by sir, the e-waste is nothing but the electronic waste. So we are living in a technologically flooded digital era where devices such as cell phones, computers, TVs, etc. They are
Sakuntala ma'am, excuse me. Can you please share your screen? It will be very easy. Screen share କରନ୍ତୁ
screen
ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ
share.
ହଁ
Yes,
ହଁ
I will do. Yes,
ହଁ
I will do. Okay.
ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ନାଁ ଅଛି
Yes,
ହୁଁ,
yes.
ନହେଲେ
Now it is shared.
no only ठीक ଅଛି I'll pin this हाँ
I think
yes now it
screen.
area हाँ
It now screen is shared.
yeah
Thank you. Okay. So now it is okay.
yeah it's okay.
Okay. So we are living in a technologically flooded digital area, and cell phones, computers, TVs, all are the part of our life. So I have enlisted here only few home appliances like microwave ovens, home entertainment devices, electric cookers, heaters, geysers, fans, and message chairs, heating pots, and remote controls, TV remote, electric coils, everything you are coming across in your day-to-day life. Okay, suppose in a office, we'll go to your office. There you will get a copier, a printer, the IT server, the cables, and sometimes you use the dongles, the network headers. All these electronic products we are using, we are come across every day when they are working, okay, but when they are not working, they are unwanted, and nearing or at the end of their useful life, then they are termed as e-waste. So I think I am very clear in my point. So every day we are using all those electronic goods, and till they are in use, they are useful to us. But if they are not, we are not using it by any means, we are rejecting it, then they are considered as e-waste. So in a simple way to explain, when these devices, they just serve their purpose of serving us and they are just thrown away by us, then that is nothing but the e-waste. So their components, their consumable parts, their spares, everything is now in a e-waste. So what is the origin of e-waste? So we get to e-waste from these two sources. One is our domestic source and another one is the corporate source. What is the domestic source? Inside our house, we are using very much so many appliances. So those individual households which are you using day to day, suppose the microwave oven we are using at home, suppose the refrigerator, the low voltage electronic appliances, they are the domestic use. And what are the corporate? Suppose the industry, whatever they are using in, they are producing in bulk, and after being they are used, there are also byproducts are obtained. So all these things are the corporate users, corporate use. Then now I could like to focus your attention on the about the data, how much e-waste our country, in our country every year we are originating. Actually, every day tons of e-waste are gathered around us, which are the problems for the life of living beings. Around 2 million tons of e-waste are generated every year in our country. Actually, as introduced, the USA, China, Japan, German, and after them, India is the fifth largest country in producing the e-waste. Every year, this production is growing at a compound annual growth rate, and by 2030, this amount will be very high and it will be danger to our living system. And now also the studies tell that about in 1 second how much e-waste you are generating, that is about uh, equal to 800 laptops we are throwing in a second. So just think how much we are doing, how much we are wasting. Every moment we are wasting. So what are the reason behind it? Why we are wasting so much e-waste? The reasons, I have summarized some reasons. The first reason is the leftover new technology. What is the leftover new technology? You know, there is advancement in science, and every day scientists are working across the world to go on new technology and to develop new innovative things. And we have interest for them. Today you are using a cell phone of some kind. Tomorrow some new version comes, then we get attracted towards it. So the technological advances are coming to us in a dizzying speed. So a lot of electronic devices that still work fine are the ones considered what, suppose obsolete. Hence, there is increased rate of obsolescence of the electrical and electronic goods. Example, suppose VCR players were there after before 20 years and they were replaced by the DVD players. Now DVD players are also not working. They are replaced by the Blu-ray players. So what happened to those VCR players? Those are still today in good condition. They are of no use to us. So if a product is powered electronically and someone thinks that they can create a better version, then from that point a e-waste is generated. So the technical development is also a big cause of increasing the e-waste. And another one is the digitization. Now there is call everywhere digitization in the global concept and in our national concept. We are running towards digitization and we like it, we love it, we enjoy the facilities because of digitization. I am sitting here and I am booking my train ticket from here. I am doing my banking works from my table. So digitization, we all like it. Because of digitization only, I am here at my home and I am talking in this webinar. So digitization, we like it, we love it, but the things we are using during this digitization, all those are the e-goods. So our dependency on e-goods is also increasing from day to day, which is obvious. And another thing, another reason behind it is rise in our economic status and a change in lifestyle. Suppose change in lifestyle means before few years, 20 years back, 30 years back, air conditioner that was not available in everybody's house. AC was just a luxury, but nowadays AC is at everybody's house. We can find AC, refrigerator, color TV, so many entertainment items, etc., etc. So previously that was a luxury, but because of change in lifestyle, now that is a necessity. Similarly, rise in economic status. So day to day, the economic status of people are increasing. So they have money, they can afford, so they purchase the things. Okay, and the another point we I may tell that the reason for increasing the UST is repairing and manufacturing defect. Sometimes what is happening, the things which you are using and they are now problem, they are not working properly. We just want to repair it, or or during its manufacture it has some defect. Then also it goes for the e-waste. Okay, so then after this we should think that what is the threat from this waste, e-waste. So all these e-waste, what are they? So suppose I have a cell phone and I am not using it. That is in my pocket. That is in my drawer. That is not a e-waste. But in the moment I thought to dispose it, I may be a very careful to dispose it in a proper way, but I may be very careless to just throw my that cell phone in the dustbin. So at the moment I put it in the dustbin, that is a waste. And what I had done, I had just put a poisonous material to our environment. So, so what happens? Actually, now the kabaddi walas, they are working everywhere. Say they from early morning you will get up, there is somebody, the kabaddi wala, asking for the unwanted goods. So what we do, we just, along with other things, we just put it to him. So by doing so, what we are doing, we are causing great hazard to our environment unknowingly. So that is why today's program, to make you aware, this is our awareness program. So what happens, what does the kabaddi wala do? He collects the things from us. Thereafter what he does, he he just sells it out to somebody, and then in mass what happens, those things go to somewhere where they are burnt because those parts, they contain the some metals like gold, aluminium, silver, etc. are present there. So to obtain those things, what the kabaddi wala does, he just put them in a open space and just burn them. So as these devices, they contain the toxic substances like mercury, lead, chromium, beryllium, cadmium, gallium, silicon, etc. So when exposed to nature, these chemicals enter the air, enter the water, and enter the soil. Suppose they are in the landfills. So what happens? Whenever the rain comes, etc., we all know the nitrogen and oxygen of the atmosphere, they combine with each other and they form the nitrates. So the lead which is present in the soil, present from where the lead comes? The lead comes from those waste materials which I have thrown, the e-waste which we had thrown. From those only the lead comes. That lead that mixes with the nitrate which come through rainwater and changes to lead nitrate. And next stage, what is that? The lead nitrate, it enters to the soil. It enters to the soil, and through, when the time changes, that mixes with the underground water. And after that, what happens? That underground water, it is taken by the plants. So when the animals take that plant, the mercury, the lead, the beryllium, all those poisonous things, they enter to the plant body. And when plants are consumed by the animals, they enter to the animal body. And when we also take those plant products or animal products, then finally they come to our body. So just think, we are throwing a cell phone to the dustbin, but in return, what it gives us? It gives us the poison in our plate. This is a cycle. This is a cycle. This does not end anywhere. It never vanishes. It goes in a chain, and finally it comes to our plate in our food. So it is very dangerous. It needs awareness. So whenever we are going to throw, suppose earphones, everybody has 1 2 3 earphone, we never mind, just take and throw this earphone. It is very not very cheap, so we are just throwing it. But when we are throwing it, we are causing us, our neighbors, the plants, the animals, and finally our environment to a great danger, that we should be aware about it. Suppose another example I may give you. Suppose we want to buy a new TV. So what we do? We just take our old TV and we give it to the seller, and we hope that that will go to the center or somewhere, and we had purchased our new TV. But what happens if kabadi wala takes it? Then he takes it, he collects all those things, he just goes out where somewhere, and there are many rag pickers, many people, around 1 million people in India, they are working on these goods. So they just openly they burn those things to find out the molten metals. So during that time, what happens? During that time, mm, uh, the poisonous gases, they come from the burning of this. Poisonous gases means sulfur. They contain the plastic which contains sulfur. So sulfur dioxide comes from there, and also those metals, because those people, they are not aware of it. They are not. They are very poor. Their economic condition is very bad, so they do not know about the health hazards coming out of it. So it affects their brain, very very dangerous. The lead, it affects the brain, and the arsenic, it affects the liver. So it affects the brain, the liver, the kidney. So their life is in danger. But to be sorry enough that in our country, the people who are dealing with it, they do not know the health hazards of the outcomes, the health hazards coming out of it. And this is about the water. Then what about the air? As I had told you, the poisonous gases which are coming out of it, they also pollute the air. So in this method, the air is polluted, the water is polluted, and the soil is polluted. So thereafter, we may think that how do we manage this solution? How to manage this solution? Actually, just a little bit care of us will manage this solution. India is the biggest producer of e-waste in the world, one among the biggest. So management of e-waste has become a huge concern, especially in our country, because lack of effective disposal and recycling will create the problem to the ecosystem and also the poor people of our country. So, what is to be done? If by any method, so just you may also think the solutions for it. If by any method we can extract the metals economically, we can extract the metals economically, and also not by hampering the not by disturbing the economical balance, the ecosystem, then everything will be fine. So what is happening in our country, that there are many people, about 1 million of people, as I had told you, they are working in this field, but they are working in this field, but they are not trained enough. So the studies have been found out that the studies have told that the about $50 million of the e-waste is circulating, and if we take 1 ton of e-waste and recycle it, then we will get around 150 gram of gold, 450 gram of silver, 1.5 kilo of copper, and also many secondary aluminum, which is useful in automobile engineering generators. So so we may think that, we may also think in this slide that just by recycling this e-waste, we can create a business opportunity for our country. Actually, now in Bhopal, in our country at Bhopal, a e-waste factory is there which extracts these things. So in that factory, actually what is done? Suppose, what is the difference between the formal and informal treatment of this e-waste? What is the informal treatment of the e-waste? If we are taking the rag picker is taking those things and burning it in the open, and the poisonous gases are coming to the atmosphere, then all these things are informal. But what about the formal one? Suppose it goes to a treatment factory, there what happens? Suppose it is PVC, so they just make it out, the PVC wires, they separate it out, they cut it into pieces, then change it to the granules. So when these granules are there, and thereafter those granules are the starting materials for the further plastic industry. So in this case, what happening? Those plastics are not burning, they are not leaving carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, they are not leaving sulfur dioxide to the atmosphere. So it is the technical way, so which can be done only in a formal sector, not in a informal sector. So I think I'm clear about my point. There are two sectors, one is the formal sector, one is the informal sector. So the kabadi wala which is taking from us, that is informal sector. But if we collect the things somewhere, suppose our municipality, it will open a door and will give our things to him, then there will be certain places where those things will be collected, and after that they will go for the formal treatment. Then in that case, this treatment will be done so that, number one, it will be economical, and number two, that will also not pollute the atmosphere, as I had given the example of the polyvinyl chloride. Similarly, suppose copper, so after just making out those polyvinyl chloride, the coating, what we will do? We will take that wire and just press it, and we will get the metals, or by the process of leaching also. By suppose lead is there, we'll put it in nitric acid solution. Gold is there, we'll use suppose the suitable solvents for it. Okay, so by dissolving them in their suitable solvents, we'll separate silver, will separate gold, will separate aluminum, etc. So which are no longer dangerous for the atmosphere. So we have to always see that the methods the nature should be available. The nature should be available for the proper management of the e-waste. So our country had done for in our country there are some methods are done, there are some rules are have been formulated. Hmm. Another example also I may tell you that suppose you are taking the refrigerator. Huh. One refrigerator, it is out of work. So in this refrigerator, chlorofluorocarbon is there. So chlorofluorocarbon, if the refrigerator is go to a kabadi wala or to a market man who just puts who just separates the parts of it, he has no knowledge about the chlorofluorocarbon, which is the cooling agent, which is there. So what he do? So what he does? So he just puts those CFC to the expose those CFC to the atmosphere, and all of us know that CFC will deplete the ozone layer. Okay, so it is a dangerous for the ozone layer. But if it will go to the proper man, then what will happen? They will technically extract those CFC, and hence it will serve the purpose. And another thing is that if by proper waste management we will bring out gold, if we will bring out silver or aluminum, etc. Not only this, around 60 elements, beryllium, germanium, silicon, all those elements, almost 60 elements from our periodic table, they are present in these use. So those mining, they are again dangerous for the atmosphere. But if we technically, formally, we do their management, then what is happening? Number one, we are not doing mining. So mining is again pollution. So we are protecting our environment from mining pollution. Number one. Also, we are protecting the things from being wasted. So the double benefit is there. Okay, and therefore nowadays there are rules regarding the management of the e-waste. Actually till 1976 it was not the countries were not so much conscious about it, and now in 2011, finally in 2016, some rules have been established. And as I had told you, in Bhopal, India's first e-waste clinic is established, and now in our country, the Department of Telecommunication and Engineering, they had done some rules according which the companies which are producing all those substances, suppose the TV companies, Toshiba company, LG company, they will recycle some percent of their product, and the concerned state will specify some space for dismantling of those e-waste, and precautions should be taken to protect their protect the hands and the health of those persons who are working with them. So they will provide them a mask, they will give them education, and they will provide them the gloves, etc. And those CFL bulbs we are using, the compact fluorescent bulb, every time we are using to save the energy, that those were also considered as the e-waste as per the rule 2016. So then so what we had discussed till now, that every day we are very much dependent on the electronic things because of development of technology, and also because the things get obsolete. So e-waste is increasing, and if e-waste is increasing, that is dangerous for our soil, for the water, and also for the air. So if we are careless about it, then we are very much we are not caring about the health of our neighbor, our parents, our grandchildren, or about this mother earth. and also about the living organisms who are living in this world. So we have to become conscious about it, and we have certain role. So the students will tell which role we will play for this, what should be our role. Very simple things. One is that we will not throw the e-waste to the dustbin. Rather, we should dispose them to the municipal corporation collector, and from where it will go to the formal recycling process. And we may also do another thing. We may suppose I do not like this cell phone. I am attracted towards some newer one. Once in a meeting, somebody asked why the scientists are working and they are always producing new, very fine things. That is why we are purchasing new and a new one. Then the answer was like this: we are in the state of evolution. Every day, the evolution, there is a technical evolution. It is a growing process, it is a flowing process. So whenever there is a flowing, so the technique will never stop. The time will go on its way. The new things will also come to the market. So the thing is that what we should do intelligently. That is our awareness. Once we will be aware, then we will do the thing in the right way. So suppose I am attracted by a good good quality of cell phone, or by a good quality of suppose TV. Then what should I do? I will not throw my old cell phone here and there. I will give it to a man who can make most out of it. Huh? Or I can also give them to the manufacturer companies who can recycle them. And another thing is that most important duty of mine is to making people aware of it. We can arrange e-waste drive in our school, college, and educate our friends about the proper disposal of the electronic waste. And companies also should come forward for producing equipments supporting the principle. 3 R's are there. One is reduce origin, second one is reuse of metal, and third one is recycling of the waste. Means what? Actually, now actually the things are going like this. In this way, the scientists, they are also working in this. The technicians, they are also working in this field. One example I may give you. Suppose there are different cell phones. We are using different varieties of chargers. Charger, though a small thing, but it contributes a lot to the e-waste. So now scientists, they are thinking that will, so soon this thing may come to the market, will prepare such a charger which will be used for varieties of the cell phones. So in a home, there may be a single charger for 5 phones. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is that suppose the the computer is now become obsolete. So we can bring out the battery of it. We can join few batteries, a number of batteries, and from those batteries the inverters can also be made. So the companies, they are working in this way. What they will do, they will prepare the things such that those things can be dismantled easily, and those things which will be in further use, they can be brought out of them easily, economically also. So the scientists, the different companies, they are employing the scientists, and they are also working in this light. So another thing is that uh, also in our country actually the youth, they are they run out of the lack of job. So this e-waste, it creates a business opportunity also. Report estimates that almost all the e-wastes are recyclable, but only 12.5% of it is currently recycled. So the IIT Hyderabad, gives a 2-year MTech course for e-waste management. Similarly, Sept in Hyderabad, it also Center of Excellence of e-waste. It also provides a training for technicians. So almost a million of people in India, they are involved in this process, and about 57 billion US dollar is dumped or bought every year. So the professional approach to this problem, like e-waste collection and sorting service, authorized dismantler, and recycling of e-waste technically will solve our nation a lot. Means what? Uh, in online also, and also from the central approach like Swachhta Bharat Abhijan. This is also another Abhijan where people are, they are encouraged to start this business, to start these startups. Suppose I am going to start a startup where I will just collect the e-waste and sorting them means proper the a particular type of e-waste in a particular corner I will put them. Then authorized dismantler. Authorized dismantler means I have some technical persons with me, they know how to dismantle all those things, so that in a proper way, without causing any hazard, just not burning, but by other technical tools I can dismantle the parts of it, and thereafter by the use of the technical knowledge we can recycle the e-waste. By this, if we'll follow this, then our this dangerous problem will be solved. If we will try today, then tomorrow our dream will come true, and will save ourselves, our earth, mother earth, and uh, all other animals, plants from these hazardous effects. Thank you. I think I had given you some idea about it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, it was very nicely and in a elaborative, lucid manner. You have covered the e-waste management, befitting this occasion, whatever we are observing at the Dhenkanal Science Centre. Uh, Even our aim is just to make people aware about, and people should realize very nicely. You have said it is everybody's responsibility. They should know uh, where and how and when to dispose. And technological upgradation is always there, and it is for the benefit of mankind. So technological upgradation will be there, but we all should be cautious. Before we conclude, may I request my viewers, if you have any queries, you can ask questions, so that we'll spare some time for. Yes, Mr. Bandopadhyay, he is from Bardhaman,
Yes, sir.
West Bengal. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Madam, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, thank you very much, ma'am. Whatever I think, I am thinking something about your topic e-waste. I am something thinking, no question at all, madam. I am thinking that something you tell about supporting, but whatever you narrated in your speech, that is the perfect one. That is, we are frequently use all such things and thrown it because mostly unrepairable. And you have mentioned that 2 million tons
Yes.
in India, probably 2 million tons electronic waste. You mentioned in your state. Not only that, in second, how many laptops you have also mentioned that we are
Yes.
that cannot be unrepairable. But madam, what I want to share with you in such taking this opportunity,
Yes.
that in a schooling study, such an environmental problem,
Yes.
whatever he mentioned, that is a new one, but it is not mentioned e-waste. Whatever
Yes.
he mentioned that right now, that is a new one appeared to me. That is not
Yes.
mentioned in the schooling book.
Yes.
But environmental study, there is a mention there, the waste having classification.
Yes.
Some waste is there that is biodegradable waste that can mix with soil. something like that. So guidance is there. Suppose in
This
section
is
1,
non-biodegradable
cotton or something
actually.
like that, that can be make it separate out. So that advice, madam, already given to the environmental science book that we have to separate the waste and not that all are in the same bucket. Put in the same bucket, but you have to separate all the waste like you have mentioned. And the one important aspect, madam, you are not saying only problem. You made the remedy of this problem.
Yes,
that is
sir.
the very important aspect of your
Yes, sir.
speech.
Thank you, sir.
And you have mentioned that it will be gold, silver, aluminum, something like that can be obtained, and so forth, unemployment problem. So it is not at all appear. So whatever you are congratulated to you, because you have mentioned the way out, not that it is appear as a problem, but way out of the problem also you have mentioned. So that's a very attracted me too much. That it is fact, ma'am. So many things we are wasting, and that is unrepairable one. So many, and 2 million tons in a year is not a matter of joke. So, madam, I am remain grateful that you are in this contest. I'd like to share with you that whatever the e-waste that can be recycling, but you have to mention that you have to go through a special machinery way.
Yes, sir.
Not that happens like chlorofluorocarbon you have mentioned. But if you
Yes.
throw it and that gas will come out, that depletion of ozone happened and something like that. That is a practical thing. So you have mentioned that in your speech that you go through experiment, proper way that we can recycling.
Yes, sir.
So that we can weigh out, we can extract the silver, gold, and aluminum something. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your
Not
so
the
much.
not only problem, you have
At least
mentioned
I
the way out of
am.
the problem.
At least I am happy
You have
enough,
mentioned
sir.
the way out of the problem.
I have started your mind in this way. Actually, our whole program, the program is of this science center, is only for this. If you can go and touch the mind, if you can put a storm into the mind of our little stars, young stars, then that is enough. We had spent some time and we had touched the problem to their mind. And also another thing is that we waste. It is not a waste. It is a khajana.
Yes.
The khajana the youth have to explore. It is a khajana actually. Thousands of dollars of money is there, but because of our ignorance, everything is wasted.
You have introduced first. I came into contact first person. You have mentioned that is the another problem in US.
Yes, sir.
Actually, madam, electronic precipitator or something like that can help us to prevent environment. Some gases, toxic gases can be reduced. But you have mentioned that polyvinyl chloride, PVC, that made up of the PCB printed circuit board that have a harmful effects like barium, cadmium, something like that, harmful to us. So, madam, you clearly mentioned, but in a schooling book, what I want to say with you, in a schooling book, in the schooling level, such a environmental problem right now, but e-waste was not mentioned there. E-waste as a waste, electronic waste was not mentioned.
CBSE has already introduced also.
Soon it will come to the picture.
But way out, the guidance is given there. Way out of this problem that you have to make it separate all waste in a different places. The biodegradable one which can mix with soil, that can be make it separate. And suppose you have mentioned that all the components from which you can in a special machinery way, not that haphazard way.
No.
You can collect the people, municipality taking a proper manner. It should be way out. So that is a excellent. But the guidance is already given that in general that we can weigh out this problem. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And even if you see during this Olympic 2020 in Tokyo Olympic, almost 5,000 medals were made up of recycled e-waste only. And it was highlighted almost in all electronic and print media. And all municipalities of Japan, they are involved in collecting. Since 2017, they have started collecting. And it was recycled, and the precious metals were extracted from that e-waste. It's a very good and as madam told rightly, even in future job opportunities will be increased. But the only thing, this message should be disseminated to the youngsters, especially the students, and that's what our aim was. And ma'am has explained very nicely. And this was also live streamed in our social media pages, and it will be there. And all across, from all across the globe, people will watch this. And definitely some students will be enthused, and they can think of this
It will be
and what
beneficial.
can be
It
done
will
in
be
our
beneficial.
locality, at our home, and in our some locality, what can be done. And almost I think in all our municipalities there is a provision of collecting e-waste.
Yes.
So it was really excellent, ma'am. The lecture was very nicely. It was very specific, theme based, and befitting to this Swachhta Pakhwada occasion, which is being observed at Dhenkanal Science Centre. And we are even thinking to organize this type of programs offline, on site. But because of this
COVID.
pandemic, we are doing all our programs online almost till now. So thank you all, ma'am. Thank you all the viewers. Special thanks to Sakuntala ma'am. Being Sunday also, she had spared her time and enlightened all of us. So on behalf of Dhenkanal Science Centre and all these viewers, thank you, ma'am. We'll end the session. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank,
sir.
thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
I'll end the meeting. Thank you. Thanks.